just gonna get him out of his cage now. Baby, hello, let's get you out of your cage. Come on then. He's actually usually like a really good boy to get up. But because he's a bit sleepy still, he's just wondering what is going on. It's his bed, I think he's being a bit protective. He's made such a mess, like he's shredded up this ball. Come here, baby. I just pick him up. He's always usually got bedding attached to him everywhere. That's Bertie. He's an old man now, he's 2 this year. But I'm going to do a separate video on Bertie. Yeah. So here he is. Oh man. He looks so sleepy, don't you? So as you can see, the ramp area of his cage is a complete mess. This used to be a ball and he's literally just shredded that up today, and it's been in his cage for months, so it's funny how his owner just decided to do that. So yeah, that's the top area of his cage, and then that's just like the wooden bridge. So I've just removed the top of the cage now, ready to be cleaned out. I do a full clean every 2 weeks, so I take absolutely everything out and refresh, and then the weeks in between I literally just replace like most of this bedding, because obviously he sleeps in that, and then he wees in a litter tray, which is really handy because that means none of his corners get wet or anything. And then obviously he's got his like little kitchen area, and usually behind the wheel this is where he stores like his little poos as well. So he's very clean, like most hamsters are, and he poos in like one specific area. So I just scoop those up and clean that area, and then put like more fresh bedding down and a little bit of fresh of this, because I will have to probably like take a handful out or so. And then I will just like spray the areas where there's been poo. Because Carefresh is actually quite dear, so I try not to throw away every single week because it really doesn't need it, considering he doesn't even urinate on it. So that's just what I do. So what I basically do is take everything completely out of the cage. So I'm going to do that now. And if you're wondering why he has a rock in his cage, that's because of his claws. His claws, since he's got old, have become very long very fast. I do trim them, but this is just in hope that he can like wear them down a little bit. And he also uses this as like a little step to get to the bottle, which is really cute. So yeah, and obviously he's got his little toys. This is just a little sand bath. Used to wee in that when I ran out of litter, but he isn't that anymore. Yeah, and he's had this little seesaw since he was a little baby. He loves that, and his wheel as well. He's got a really big wheel, which hamsters should have. But he's completely like gnawed it down a lot. But I guess that's just like kind of what hamsters do, so that's fine. So I'm just going to get on with that and empty all the toys out, and then I'll continue filming. The toys are now all out. I actually don't mind cleaning out Bertie at all. It's a really quick job compared to the guinea pigs, and I think that's just because he wees in a litter tray, so it's really not that dirty. As you can see, it's a little bit of a mess though. So he's got his little kitchen a little bit over here. He's got like another kitchen area here. So I'm just gonna crack on clearing that and just replace some of his bedding. So I'm gonna do that now. So the base of the cage is now all clean. I've put his toys back in as well. If you're wondering why I use like sawdust and Carefresh, so I use sawdust on this end of the cage and then Carefresh all the rest of the cage. That's just because the cage is quite big. It actually doesn't look as big on camera as it does in person, but you know, it takes most of my bed to be honest, by the length of my bed. And so yeah, and Carefresh is pretty expensive, so to cover the whole base of the cage and do it quite deeply, because hamsters like deep bedding, I just get through way too much, and I don't really like using sawdust as a full bedding base for hamsters, so that's just like the reasoning behind that. So now, excuse the mess, I've just got to get onto the top of his cage, and then we're pretty much done. Okay, I think I realised why he suddenly just gnawed this ball to pieces after it being in there for about 3 months. Literally, I think it was hanging above his, in this corner here, which is obviously where he wants to sleep. So he decided, so clever, to just shred the ball up and then it will no longer be there. So yeah. So this is his cage now all complete, and I've now tidied his little area at the top. I haven't moved his bed around because he only actually made that today. So I didn't want to move it really, because he's worked hard at doing that, obviously. I really hate moving around hamster beds, you know, it's their comfort and it's something they've created, so I'm going to leave it there for now. And yeah, so now it's all clean and I've just got to hoover and sweep my room. He gets a bit of gluey eye, that's just because he's old and he's sleepy. So yeah, here he is, a little bit sleepy. Oh, he's waking up now. He's so sweet, I just love him so much. He's gone a little bit bald because like he's getting an old man now, so he's a bit bald, but he's still got his lovely long hair at the back, which I'm actually going to brush. Every time I clean him out, which is like once a week, I always give him a brush, so we're in like a routine. So I'm going to do that now, and I'm going to give him like a little bit of a date. He loves dates, so I'm going to give him that whilst I give him a little bit of a brush, and he's actually just put it in his pouch anyways, so, which I thought he would do. To be honest with you, like, since I've had Bertie, which is like 2 years in June, he's never had a mat. Like, he's so good at like keeping himself clean and tidy. I know hamsters are like really clean animals, but he keeps himself like really mat free. I don't know how he does it. So he doesn't really need much brushing. I use just a little child's toothbrush, a baby toothbrush, because it's nice and soft for him. And he actually really doesn't mind it, as you can see. I haven't trimmed his hair since summer, so it's been quite a long time since I trimmed his hair. I wanted to like let it grow as long as possible, because in the winter, you know, it doesn't matter so much that it's long, and it doesn't bother him or anything like that. Sorry, Bertie. So it doesn't bother him, so I thought I'd just let it grow long, and he's going bald anyway, so why make him any more bald?